Hi everyone, it's Sunday, May 9th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. So while the Hide market was rather quiet this week in some spots like the US, there were some changes in Europe and a bit of welcome stability in Latin America. But let's look at Europe first, where editor Andrea Guolo says that for a number of selections, prices are on the rise. And that's mainly because of supply, and it's creating problems for the tanneries. In the UK, Andrea reports that the best 36 plus has been confirmed at £1.35 sterling per kilo, but supply is a problem that's actually having repercussions on deliveries. In Ireland, the price is the same, and the market is starting to feel some of the same squeeze on deliveries as the UK is. Among bulls, Andrea says that German sale prices were unchanged for the week, despite the lofty asking prices that some sellers were presenting. Nonetheless, southern German bulls were confirmed at €1.85 per kilo, while some French hides saw an increase as well. The European cow market logged some increases this week, but that wasn't everywhere, so the market varied by origin. In the veal skin market, sellers are seeing more success with their rising price requests, and some origins are actually seeing a full recovery to pre-pandemic price levels. In his analysis this week, Andrea explains what's happening in the Italian tanneries that are facing the continuous price increases on raw material and what that means for production coming up. Turning to US, the standoff between buyers and sellers did not let up last week, and it sounds like the amount of business concluded was again low. Throughout the week, producers kept insisting that steer sales were being done at steady levels, and there's no doubt that some business was done at prices that were unchanged. That said, there were plenty of rumors circulating about sales being done below steady levels, and that too is quite likely given the low level of sales in recent weeks. The cow sector saw prices slip $1 or $2 again this week, and that's because interest has all but evaporated for cows. Next week's going to be very telling because both sides of the equation are going to need to do some business, so we'll see what happens with prices. Sales of heavy Texas steers lost $1 the previous week, but this past week they clung to steady levels, although trading was very thin. Seasonal weights of 64 or 66 pounds sold at $43 to $44. Export sales for the week were down by 46% at 311,100, which is actually pretty measly. Raw hides were up a touch at 7% more, but the big drop in wet blue sales is what really killed the total. Combined shipments were also nothing to get excited about because they were down by 19%. At 488,600. Slaughter for the week through Saturday, May 8th was down 2% again at 638,000. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports that raw material was pretty stable again this week, adding just 2 cents in reals to sell for 3 reals and 36 cents per kilo. And that little increase came only because 2 states saw a rise in their area, and that pushed up the national average. Still, sellers are managing to hold TR1 prices steady at $1.15 per square foot. But that said, sellers are now having to deal with the appreciation of the real, which is hitting the competitiveness of Brazilian sellers in the global market. In other news from Brazil, Mato Grosso's slaughter is working at 83% capacity, and in 2020, Brazil's footwear production fell by 18.4% compared to a global drop of 19%. From elsewhere in Latin America, we have a story on Argentine footwear and leather goods retail going up nearly 70% in April, but that's compared to a year ago when the pandemic was in full force. Colombian industry is preparing for an in-person fair for the IFLS and EICI. Mexico's manufacturing orders dropped in April. And from Peru, 14 fashion brands were showing at New York's Sustainable Fashion Week, and that did include some footwear and accessories. So that's all we have for this week, and until next week, good night from HideNet.